Now, we will get started. Like I said, I think Hardik was here quite early. I saw him just now. We are going to continue with our magnets. Okay. So magnets is a new topic, I would say. It's a relatively new topic for most of you, but some of you actually did it in P3. Okay. But the new syllabus, actually for the new syllabus, magnets is considered a primary 3 topic. But because you are primary 4 this year, so you are basically the last batch doing the 2017 syllabus for science. Your juniors, that means the P3 students this year, they will be following the new syllabus. Okay. So for your case, we will still be going through magnets even in P4. Like I said, we will always prepare you. We will definitely make sure that you're quite well prepared for your end of year exam. That means basically we're going to cover all the topics required for your end of year exam for primary 4. Okay, so no need to worry. You might be thinking, but I'm not doing magnets now, or I've done it before. Yes, Jaden, you have a question.
You mean the end of year exam is cover P3 and P4?
Yes, most of the time for P4 science paper, end of year, it depends on schools, but generally they will be testing you on both P3 and 4 topics for end of year. Yeah, that's usually the case because they also want to make sure that you do not lose touch with any of the primary 3 topics, right? Yeah, so that's what your teachers will be thinking. But of course, you also have to check with your school because different schools sometimes they might just remove some topics. Yeah, so always good to check with your school. But I believe generally most schools will do that. They will just test you on P3 and 4. Yeah. Okay. So then okay, we will start off with magnets. Last week, actually, Mani was the only one with me, the last lesson, because the two of you are new. So last week, we actually started on magnets already, right?
You weren't alone.
Sorry?
You weren't alone last week. There was some other student, like another trial student.
No, I meant out of the three of you now, you are the only one with me last week. Yeah. So because Hardik and Jaden are new. Yes, Jaden, you have a question.
Do I need to download the worksheet? I can download. So do I download?
Yes, of course. Yeah, it'll be good if you can download. If you want to take down notes, you can take down notes. But also at the same time, just for your information, we will be posting the annotated notes, meaning those with my handwriting on it, after the tutorial today. So that means
is it the live lesson, right? Live tutorial.
Tutorial, yeah, live tutorial.
19.
Yes, today is 19, worksheet 19.
Okay, I'm in.
Yeah, great. But I was just saying, actually, we will also be uploading the version that is annotated, meaning after lesson, right? After tutorial, all the notes which I've written on the worksheet, they will be saved and they will also be uploaded onto your student account, your 88 Tuition student account. So you will also have access if let's say you don't have the habit of writing notes. Okay, but of course, for some people, you find it extremely effective for you to write notes. Because when you write, you remember, right? Right? So in this case, I would think that, it's up to you. I leave it entirely up to you. If you think that is useful for you, then just by all means go ahead. Okay?
So you mean you recommend? Do you recommend?
Of course, in this case, I do not have. Of course, I will recommend for you to maybe take down some important notes, but maybe not everything is necessary. Yeah. But of course, it depends on individuals because sometimes different people have different learning habits and different ways of allowing them to learn effectively. So whichever works best for you. Okay, so that's fine. I think that would be my ultimate recommendation if you want to ask me. Yeah, so whichever works best for you. Okay, now I know usually, okay, we leave the video to the last, but today we're going to start with a video first, just to recap on magnets, right? So we'll watch the video first before we go into the questions. Then if we have time at the end, then we'll conduct an activity. All right? And before we move on to that, since you are curious about MRI scan, okay, let me see. Show you pictures here. Okay, it's a magnetic resonance imaging, right? It uses strong magnetic fields to produce a detailed image of the inside of the body. So because of that, they will be able to find and see, what is exactly in your body. That's why when you're going for an MRI scan, you're not allowed to bring magnetic materials on you. So they will usually ask you to remove like your coins, your necklace, and everything. Anything that is possible that is magnetic. So this is the image of it. And usually to go for an MRI scan, I think it's quite comprehensive, but at the same time, I think it's quite expensive as well. Yeah, to really look into your body and see what's going on. Yeah, so that's an MRI scan.
Why
Okay.
can't they use a normal X-ray?
X-ray, there are limitations. I think for X-ray, they are only able to see certain things, like maybe your bones and maybe the surface of some of the organs. But if you really want to go in detail, then probably you need an MRI scan. There's another scan, I think it's called CT scan. CT scan, I think, is not so comprehensive. CT scan is a computerized tomography scan. It's a series of X-ray images taken from different angles in around your body. Yeah, so it's basically still using X-ray. So what is a CT scan versus MRI? So CT scans are usually the first choice, but MRI are really useful for certain diseases that the CT scan cannot detect. Like I said, if you want a more comprehensive one, then you probably need an MRI. Yes, Bunny, you need to go toilet. Please go ahead. I just saw your message.
I already went because it was urgent.
Oh, okay. No worries. Okay. So yeah, that's just a little bit background on CT scan and MRI. Okay, we're going to get started with our questions, right? Which one of the following objects? Now, if you want to answer, I forgot to say that. One of the house rules is that if you would like to answer a question, please click on the raise hand function, because if everyone were to speak, then it gets very disruptive as well. Okay, so raise your hand and I'll call upon your name and you can just answer the question. Yeah. Okay, first question, Jaden. Which one of the following can be attracted by a magnet?
Iron ball.
Very good. Why is it iron ball?
It's because magnets can attract to steel, iron, nickel, and cobalt. While the but and they are all metals. But in B, C, and D, they are not metals.
Does it mean that all metals can be attracted by a magnet?
No, because aluminum can't be attracted.
Very good. Okay, so these are what we call our magnetic materials. And magnetic materials can be attracted by a magnet. Yeah, so out of all these four, only iron is. Having said that, doesn't necessarily mean all metals are magnetic. Only these four. So how do you remember this? You can remember as school is not cool. Yes. Okay, school is not cool. Yeah, steel, iron, nickel, cobalt. So these are your four magnetic materials. Okay, next question, money. Which of the following can be attracted by a magnet again?
Steel, because in school is not cool. Steel is X.
Very good. Actually, basically, the list of magnetic materials, only steel, right? Out of these four, only steel is a magnetic material. That's right. Correct. Okay. Now, next one. An object X was attracted to a magnet as shown in the figure below. Object X is made of Hardik. How about that?
It is made of iron.
Okay. Similar question. I think 1, 2, 3 are quite similar, right? So it's made of iron because, again, what's the reason behind it?
It is a magnetic metal.
Yes, magnetic metal, magnetic material, right? Your steel, iron, nickel, cobalt. So these are what we call magnetic materials. So far, okay, in terms of magnetic materials? Okay, we are going to move on to other concepts later. In which of the following will the two magnets push each other away? Yes, Jaden.
A, because the rest are the opposite, and opposite will attract each other. While when north and south join together, they will repel each other.
Correct. Okay, like what Jaden has said, right? Because for the rest, actually, unlike poles are facing each other. Unlike means poles, they are not the same. So north and south. Okay, so all these three, 1, 2, 3, unlike poles, or rather,
Teacher,
yes.
I go to the worksheet, and the worksheet has like a timer.
Yeah, because when you're trying it, right, it's actually a time assignment. Are you doing it now or? Actually, you shouldn't be doing it now because we're going through now during tutorial. Yeah, it has a time attached to it because you can't be taking so long to do it. So there is a time limit. Jaden, you have a question, Jaden? No? Okay. So basically all these have unlike poles facing each other. So when unlike poles face each other, they will repel. So for this one, the like poles face each other. So they attract. Sorry, this one they attract. Sorry, this one is they will attract. And this one they repel. So when when the question says push each other away, okay, it means push each other away means it's a repulsion. Right? So when it's a repulsion, the answer will then be A. Okay? Now, next question. Let's read the question first. This is a long one. Jenny's prepared 4 experimental setups, P, Q, R, and S, each with an electromagnet.
By coiling a wire around an iron nail to attract some steel paper clips. She used identical batteries, iron nail, wire, and paper clips in each of the 4 setups. The table provides information on each setup.
Okay. So which one of the following aims of the experiment has been matched correctly with the setups? Okay, so let's take a look at P and R. Maybe I use another color. Okay, so P and R, we have this batteries, the coils are different, batteries are different. So can we say that the aim is to find out if the number of coils affects the number of paper clips attracted? Can we say that?
No.
Mani, what do you think? The number of coils affects the number of paper clips. The number of coils is different, but at the same time, the number of batteries used are also different. So can we actually test it out? No, because any experiment, we should only have one change variable. Okay, so option A is out. Now let us take a look at Q and S now. Okay, so over here we have Q and S, right? Q is 3 and 11, S is 2 and 3 again. So